Wow. I am so honored to be here. And I just want to welcome all of you, all of my friends that are here to Spark Hope Now. And I also want to take a moment to welcome you to the courageous journey of being all that God has called you to be. This courageous journey is about transforming your mind and living courageously every single day. It's really about a shift from fear to faith, from crisis to courage, from concern to compassion. I truly believe that as we embrace this journey, we can emerge stronger, better, more compassionate if we choose it for the world. I have to say that as leaders, we must know that what we think, what we say, and what we do makes a difference in the world every day with every single person that we meet. And it's been my experience that people will experience us in one of two ways. They will either see us as love energy in motion, or conflict, or friction energy in motion. That's been my experience. So the question is, as leaders in the world, what will you choose? And this is a subject I know a lot about. So let me take you on a little bit of a journey. At 14 years old, I was a beautiful, all-American, fun-loving little girl, but I had dreams the size of Texas. One afternoon, I was sitting outside and I was sunning, and all of a sudden I felt a tap on my shoulder and kind of a whisper into the spirit. And it said, "Mary Katherine, you will write a book." Well, I had never heard that before. So I was so excited and a little bit surprised that I hopped out of my chair. I ran inside. I grabbed my red spiral notebook and my favorite pencil, and I wrote 2 paragraphs. It was a love story. But as soon as the inspiration came, it went. Because really, what do you know about love at 14, right? Well, fast forward in my life, 15 years later, and my life looked nothing like that. I was no longer the all-American, loving, popular girl that I once was. To look at me now, you would never, ever imagine that I was a woman in her late 20s who suffered from drug addiction and alcoholism. My life was a mess. I was a wreck, and I was suffering from the story of unworthiness and shame. I never thought that I would recover. And in this moment in particular, I had a second encounter with the Spirit of God. Once again, as I was bargaining with God to take anything other than this horrible, horrible addiction, because not only was it the hardest challenge that I ever overcame, but the condemnation over my life and the judgment was more than I could bear. But this is what happened. The Spirit of God, again, tapped me on the shoulder, but this time the whisper was a lot louder. And this is what I heard. "Mary Katherine, you will recover, and you will write a book about the journey through hell to home." No was the answer. I was too afraid of what you thought of me. I didn't want to tell anyone the degree to which I tried and failed over and over again. But dear friends, that was more than 20 years ago. And in that moment in my life, I shifted from thinking hope as wishful thinking, as actually believing and standing in the power and the promises of God. It took a long time for my life to kind of change and for me to become a woman of principle and the person that you see before you. But hope is an action word. And over the last 20 years, I've built my life one day at a time. And I like to see my life as a beautiful garden. When I talk about my life, I talk it in terms of the spirit, the body, and the mind. And in this beautiful garden, for those of you who have ever been inside of a garden, you know that there are flowers and trees and plants, and the aroma is so strong and the colors are so beautiful. And there are also butterflies and bumblebees, but they all come together. to make that garden beautiful and strong. I believe that hope is the fertilizer for our soul. And no matter where you're at today, maybe you're that inspiring person that's rebuilding her life right now. Maybe you're a powerful stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're an executive or the CEO of your company. It doesn't matter. Wherever you're at, I'm going to give you 2 tools that I think will be helpful. Number 1, as a leader, I want you to evaluate your soil. What is the state of your garden? Are there any rocks or weeds that you kind of need to pull out? And as leaders, remember, we learn to stand back and just kind of evaluate the state of our garden. We don't judge it, but in order to make changes, we need to know the state of our garden. Number 2, I want to encourage you to cultivate and plant good seed. There are 3 things that I do in my life every day that I think make a difference. Number 1, I pray and meditate every day. Number 2, I'm always exercising. So I'm either doing long distance cycling or I'm in a hot yoga class. And number 3, just for me, I've been studying the Word of God for about 20 years. And believe me, I'm still a beginner. But the point is, what will you do in your life every single day to elevate your life to the next level and live the life of your dreams? And the reason why these are so important is because what we practice, we become. Let me say that again. What we practice, we become. And so as a takeaway, I'm going to break the word hope down for you, and I hope you find it helpful. H, help from God. No matter what faith you practice and no matter where you're at in your journey, you can ask for help from God. O, be open to planting good seeds in your life. And remember, your miracle is just around the corner. P, it's time to position yourself right now. You've got to see yourself as a champion. You've got to know that you're a leader. So my question for you is, who are the 5 people that you listen to most? Because here's what I know. Whoever has your ear has your life. And finally, E, example. Your life is a living example. Everyone around you is watching you. In these uncertain times, more than ever before, people are listening to you and watching your life. So my question, dear friends, is what do you want to teach? Do you want to teach love or lies? Courage or conflict? Hope or hopelessness? My life is beyond my wildest dreams, and I've only been able to do this one day at a time. I want to encourage you. My story of transformation might be powerful, but my story is only one of millions. I believe in you. And in closing, whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, I hope you know that you are loved, and I hope your journey always brings you back home to happiness and hope. I love you, and thank you so, so much.